Switchblades.tv presents available at assistedknife.com. Roadsideimports.com presents.
Okay, let's get familiar with the Butterfly Balisong Batangas knife. There are quite a few different parts on this. Let's start with the bite handle. This is the handle that closes on the sharp edge of the blade. The kicker is an area on the blade that prevents the sharp edge from contacting the inside of the handle and suffering damage. The latch is a standard locking system which holds the balisong closed. The latch, Batangas, is a latch that is attached to the bite handle, and a latch Manila is a latch that is attached to the safe handle. A latch spring is a latch that utilizes a spring to propel the latch open when the handles are squeezed, which is typical on the Benchmade, the Spyderco, Spiderfly, and most custom knives. You're not going to find that on your cheap Chinese versions. Now the safe handle is the handle that closes on the non-sharpened edge of the blade. The latch gate is the block inside the channel of the handle, stopping the latch from impacting the blade. Now you're not going to have those on cheap versions either. Those are typical on Benchmade, Spyderco, and high-end versions as well. The tang is the base of the blade where the handles are attached to the pivot pins. The coil is a small curve found on some balisongs just above the kicker, which allows you to sharpen the blade more easily. The swedge is an unsharpened spine of the blade that is angled to appear as if it were sharpened. Many spear point balis actually have an edge side and a swedge side instead of two sharpened sides. Okay, now we're going to step on to identify the handles. The balisong has two handles. One is called the safe handle and one is called the opposite handle. But like I said, some people refer to it as the bite handle. The opposite of the safe is dangerous, right? So opposite and safe is pretty typical, as well as bite and safe. So anytime one thing is safe and the other is dangerous, it's a good idea to know which is which. The safe handle is the handle that is the unsharpened side. The spine of the blade crosses into. The opposite handle is the handle that has the sharpened side, the edge or the bite side of the blade, which closes into. If you hold the handle by the opposite handle, you can be cut pretty badly. But if you hold the knife by the safe handle, you will not be cut, even if your hand does get in the way of the blade. As you will try to close the knife, only the unsharpened spine of the blade will hit your hand. Notice please that the latch does not tell you which handle is safe and which is opposite. The latch may be on either handle, and that's what we were talking about when there's a latch Batangas, which is the latch is on the opposite handle or the bite handle, and a latch Manila, which is on the safe handle. Now I have referenced the balisong collector because he is our guru and he is somebody to look up to because he knows a hell of a lot of stuff about balisongs. So I've used some of his inspiration and his photography, and he says that as you will notice that he put a yellow tape on the opposite handle of his Benchmade 43, and he's going to perform openings with his right hand, which the unlatch of the balisong. Curl your fingers and hold the balisong as shown in the step-by-step photos. Place your thumb on the safe side of the handle. Press the safe handle between your thumb and index finger. While holding the safe handle between your thumb and index finger, uncurl your fingers. As you uncut your fingers, the opposite handle will drop and the blade will follow. Cut your fingers back around the safe handle. Because this is the safe handle, you will not get cut even if the blade should, for any reason, swing back. Once your fingers are curled securely around the safe handle, move your thumb up and out of the way. With a little forward and upward nudge, the opposite handle will swing and land on top of the safe handle. The blade will follow until the tang pin stops the blade in the open position. Wrap your thumb around the handles. You now have the knife open and gripped. Notice though that the knife is not latched. To achieve the full potential lock strength of the Balisong, you'll need to latch it. After you've practiced this whole process just a few times, you'll be able to do it in a single fluid motion. Now that you have your Balisong open, let's learn how to close it. We'll start where we left off with the single flip up opening. Notice that the sharp edge of the knife is facing up and the opposite handle is on top. Roll the knife over with your hand so that the sharp edge of the blade is facing down and the safe handle is on top. Press the safe handle between your thumb and index finger. While holding the safe handle between your thumb and index finger, uncurl your fingers. As you uncurl your fingers, the opposite handle will drop. Cut your fingers back around the safe handle and then move your thumb up and out of the way. While a little forward and upward nudge, the opposite handle will swing up and land on the top of the safe handle. The blade will follow. Wrap your thumb around the handles. You now have closed the knife. Notice that the knife is not latched, and if you want to put the knife away, you might want to latch it. Notice also that if you want to open it again with a single flip up open, you'll first have to roll the knife over in your hand so that the opposite handle is on bottom. After you've practiced just a few times, you'll be able to do this with a fluid motion. Notice that the single flip up closing is very similar to the single flip up opening. Many Balisong manipulations can be used either as openings or closings. Okay, let's try the ice pick drop and catch opening. For the single flip up opening, you started with the knife closed, holding the knife in your hand with the tip of the blade inside, the closed knife pointing towards you. When you opened the knife, the blade rotated 180 degrees and the tip ended up pointing away from you. For the ice pick drop, the catch opening, you'll start with the knife closed, holding the knife in your hand, but with the tip inside, the closed knife pointing up. As you open it, the blade will rotate 180 degrees and end up pointing down. Remember, in these pictures, I put yellow tape on the opposite handle of my Balisong. Once again, I'm using my right hand. Grip the safe handle with your fingers and move your thumb up and out of the way. As you do this, the opposite handle of the blade will fall. Wrap your thumb around the safe handle and grip the safe handle between your thumb and index finger. Uncurl your fingers so that they are now all pointing forward. With a little forward and upward nudge, the opposite handle will rotate and meet the safe handle. Wrap your fingers around both handles, and now you have the knife in the open and in a classic ice pick grip. And notice that the knife is not latched at this point. Okay, starting with it in the classic ice pick grip with the knife open, we're gonna close it. So grip the safe handle between your thumb and index finger and then uncurl your fingers and point them forward. As you do this, the opposite handle of the blade will fall down. Wrap your fingers around the safe handle, move your thumb up and out of the way. While a little backward and upward nudge, the opposite handle and blade will rotate up and meet the safe handle. Wrap your thumb around the handles, and now you've closed the knife. Notice again that I didn't latch the knife. The ice pick drop and catch opening and closing are very much just the opposite of each other. In fact, many Balisong manipulation technique, the opening and closings are essentially the opposite of each other.
Available at assistedknife.com. Got questions? I got answers. Email me at jb@roadsideimports.com